Dmitry Trenin, you have said that the new missile defence shield system, which was discussed between NATO and Russia at the Lisbon summit, could be a game changer or a game breaker. Why?
Missile defense could either be a bridge toward the future or a bridge toward the past. If it's a game changer, if that leads to a real cooperation agreement and real cooperation between Russia and NATO on missile defense, that will start transforming in a big way, transforming the strategic relationship between Russia and the West away from the patterns of the Cold War, which are still there with us, mutual assured destruction, deterrence, and all that, toward a collaborative relationship. If, however, we do not achieve that goal, if this collaboration becomes impossible due to whatever reason, then I would imagine the United States and NATO will proceed with their missile defense plans without Russia. And Russia will have to take that into account. And Russia will have to do something to preserve its national security in the old way. But thinking about NATO and the United States like they used to think about the West in the days of the Cold War.
Are not small, gradual steps in improving the NATO-Russia relationship, such as has happened in Afghanistan, in agreements about helicopters and transit routes, are not small steps like that just as important as the major steps, such as missile defense?
Well, I think that small, gradual cooperation is important. And big steps forward should not undermine efforts leading to small improvements every step of the way. Having said that, back in the early 1990s, many people were enthused about Russia's cooperation with NATO in peacekeeping operations in Bosnia. People talked about that being the model. Now, the model in Bosnia did not survive the crisis in Kosovo. So there is something that can be done incrementally, but this does not nullify the importance, or this does not nullify the importance of big things, of real breakthroughs. Without a big breakthrough in the relationship, the danger of sliding back is very real.
How fixed do you feel that the positions in Russia and the West are, looking, for example, at the political situation in the US and also to a certain extent in Russia? How much do you feel there's a unity of voice on each side?
Domestic politics and strategic discussions could play a significant role in international relations. I very much hope that domestic politics does not kill the New START treaty, because I think it's certainly in the interest of the United States, it's certainly in the interest of Russia, and it's clearly in the interest of the international community that that treaty is ratified, and that the way is clear for more cooperative agreements in arms control and in the various spheres of security collaboration between Russia and the United States. Within Russia, anyone who reads the Russian media, the Russian military press, the articles devoted to collaboration with NATO, devoted to missile defense and other issues, would realize that any movement toward collaboration with the West, NATO, the United States, is going to be a difficult job in Russia. There's a lot of old Cold War think on the Russian side. I would add at the same breath that there's some amount of that on the Western side as well. And I very much hope that there is enough leadership on both sides. If there is not enough, then the consequences, I think, will be dire.
Is the reset more just a change of mindset?
Well, I think all resets are about the mindsets. The United States is not a threat to Russia. But not everyone in Russia believes that. That's the problem. Russia is not a threat to the Baltic states or Poland or you name it, Georgia. But not everyone there believes that. It's difficult to exit from an empire or to exit from being, for a few decades, a military political superpower. And you have, as Russia, to travel a long way to put yourself mentally in a different state of mind. But it's equally important for other countries, the countries that were victims of the empire or were subjects of the empire, to travel their way too. The victim complex as well as the winner complex are the things that need to be overcome.
You mentioned in a recent article that NATO enlargement to the east is not on the agenda for the first time since the 1990s. How important do you feel that that is in relation to the reset of NATO-Russia relations? And also, what do you feel will happen if or when it comes back onto the agenda again?
What it does to the Russian thinking, it relieves them of the specter of NATO enlargement all the way to the Russian borders. And again, you can discuss at length that this does not present a threat to Russia, that Russia should not be concerned about that. But in the present situation, it is impossible to believe that such arguments would carry the day. You may discuss again at length Russia's lack of aggressive motives in some Central Eastern European environment, and you would not be believed either. The fact that Ukraine is not moving toward NATO, not because of any deal concluded behind the backs of the Ukrainian people, but because of the domestic politics of Ukraine and because of the state of public opinion in Ukraine, is a stabilizing factor. So if it comes back, it's important to see how that issue comes back. In Georgia, the bulk of the population and the bulk of the Georgian elite are in favor of NATO membership. However, the Georgian issue is encumbered by the two conflicts in Abkhazia and South Ossetia, and it's clear that Georgian membership would bring in those two running conflicts, basically a state of war that exists there, to the alliance. And this is not something that the alliance would consider, in my view, at this point. So it's important to see under what circumstances these questions come back, if they do come back. Again, if the bulk of the Ukrainian people is in favor of NATO enlargement, there is no force in the world, and certainly not Russia, that will be able to stop it.